make this lamb and lentil stew. As you can see, I've already started. If you're looking for lamb meat, you can find it at Aldi's, Kroger's, and at your local African market. When I boil my lamb meat, I like to add a small onion in there for some reason. Well, actually, the reason is I use that broth. I'm going to use some of that broth to make Coco's cat food with. So this is the onion I'll be choosing. This right 1 second. We'll get this right. Okay. Oh gosh. I have managed to tie my hijab around my waist, and I have my phone on it because I'm creative and I'm frugal as well. So you guys, this is me struggling, okay, because any little sudden move can knock this phone. But what I like to do is dice the onions, because what I'm hoping that it can kind of liquefy as it's boiling. Alright. And then I just take it like that, put it in. 1 second. We're gonna do some garlic. Can't forget the garlic, okay? So how I like to do my garlic is I just smash it. Excuse the camera for moving. It's attached to my body. But yeah, I smash the garlic as such. Once you smash the garlic, you know, the peeling is very easy to just come off. So just remove it like that. I'm not worried about the dry edges on the garlic, because as it's boiling, it'll get softened. Oops.
I just lost like a whole 1/4 of garlic behind my stove, but gonna keep it moving. And so yeah, let's give it a chop. I'm just gonna do a rough
chop. I'm not gonna mince it too well. And then in it goes as well. You want to have all of your flavoring herbs and spices. You want to go ahead and boil it with this meat here, okay? We want all that to release into the water, into our broth there. Next, we're gonna move on with some of the herbs that I'll be adding. So we'll go in with a little crushed rosemary. We're also gonna go in with a little ground cumin. And I'm sorry I don't have measurements. I measure intuitively. I'm also gonna use just a little bay leaf, or I think these are laurel leaves, whatever they are. I have quite a lot, but I don't want a whole one. The flavor of these can be really strong. Okay, and then just also toss that up in there. Now we want to let this boil, you know, here for a good 2 hours in order for the meat to get really tender and fall off the bone. Because what I'm going to do here in a sec is take the meat off of the bone for easier access of eating. And so, you know, gradually you just want to add water to it. Just want to keep adding water to it and let that come to a boil. Again, I am going to boil this here, and this is on, I think that's like a medium high. But yeah. Meanwhile, let's move to the lentils. All right, so I've managed to rinse the lentils off. I don't know if you can see or not, but I see here. These are the lentils you're not gonna want to cook, because once they do cook, see that yellow, and it's like a half bean or lentil, whatever, legume, whatever they call them. And then I think I've seen another. Yeah, those are what you're looking for. You don't want them in there. All right. I lost the other one, so anyhow, we're gonna just add them. I can expect that there will be one lentil in there that is gonna be hard, but at least it's just the one. So I'm gonna boil this until my lentils are soft enough for me to blend, in which I will be doing here in a second. Also, friends, as this is all boiling, do not make the mistake of adding salt. It is not ready for salt yet, as salt will just delay in the softening of the meat and the softening of the lentils. What you do want to do is continue to add water. Okay. So now my lentils and my meat has reached a consistency that we like. I'm gonna start and take out the meat in order to cut it off of the bone. And so that's what we'll be doing. And it doesn't matter if there's any lentils left on the meat, because it's going right back in the pot. So we get all of the meat out. I think that might be the last piece. Okay. So what remains are lentils, and I'm now gonna go ahead and blend those, excluding this laurel leaf. We can now just go ahead and throw this out because it's kind of served its purpose. So we're adding the lentils to the blender. The reason why I'm doing this is to thicken up my stew. And you want to leave some in the pot that's not going to be blended, you see, for texture. I also add a little bit of the broth for mobility in the blender, you know. All right. So this is what's remaining, because I like a little, I don't know, I like a little, I like to fill my beans and my lentils, so we'll leave some. Meanwhile, my husband, he likes it, you know, smooth and mushy. So we'll blend this. We're gonna put it on the puree smoothie mode. It's really quick. And then all of that goes back in. You want to take the meat off the bones. You can use your hands for that if it's not too hot. So we'll take, ooh, and it is. So I guess I'll just take the bones off the meat the other way around. You see? Ooh. As much as you can, we're taking it off. And setting it aside, setting the bones aside. Because bones like this that have meat on it, you can give it to your dog, or you can freeze them to make like a soup, like a soup base. You can also, you want to take off the extra fat, okay? Because I know some of your friends were wondering about all the extra fat. Lamb, and you know, can really be high in cholesterol, so we want to watch that. I'm gonna take off this lard of fat here. Coco will eat it. Coco and friends. She's got some friends out there. And I have a few stray feral cats that we feed right here, so it'll work. Once you get all of this off of the bones, then you go in with your knife and chop it to your desired size. And my desired size is always spoon size, because look at that interesting bone. I've never seen a bone like that. Look at that. Nice. Mine's is spoon size because I want meat. I want, you know, each scoop of my stew. So get all this off. Coco and her friends are already waiting. Put the fat with the bones. And now we'll chop. Wait, a little bit more fat. Take off all the fat because ew. All right. And then you want to chop. Let me see. Okay, I'm gonna chop. And this is a rough chop. I just want to make it, like I said, where it's easy for him and I to scoop it up. I did leave some fat on it. So we're chopping roughly. And then back into the pot it goes. I'm gonna tell y'all something. Now, the lentils, I eat this. We're eating lentils a good maybe 3 times a week. If I'm not using lamb, I am using like a smoked chicken, which I buy from my nearest African store. And so yeah. So now I have all of that. Let's go ahead and add back into the pot. How do you guys think my hijab tripod is working? Would you try this? Because I have yet to buy an overhead tripod. And then I'm gonna stir it, and you can see it's already getting thick. It's already getting thick, you see? Now we're gonna add the seasonings that we couldn't add before. So I will be adding a little of this free-flowing iodine salt and 1 cube of this No-Cost by Maggie. I already threw the Maggie in off camera. Now I'm gonna add some salt, and then I stop about right there. And then this, you see there's the Maggie. This that's the Maggie cube. And it's gonna melt in here. So I'd say every 10 minutes, I'm gonna come back here and I will stir this around. And also add some black pepper if you have. I didn't, so that's why I didn't add. But yeah, you should also add some black pepper into this if you like black pepper. I will now show you, friends, how I serve this up. So I had Papa pick up some French baguette on his way home, and this is what we will be pairing it with. All right, let's serve her up. I don't eat so much of this because it's very filling. Papa just came home from a long day at work, so I'll give him a bit more than I'm gonna take. Me, I'll take a little bit more of the lentils. I like more of the lentils than meat. And serve a little bit more. All right, you guys, I'm hoping you guys give this recipe a try. And that is my lamb and green lentil stew with French baguette. Don't forget your French baguette. Go ahead and let me know in the comments what you think about this recipe, if you'll try it. And of course, go ahead and hit that subscribe button for more videos such as this one. Till later.